Timothy, and this is Expert Drawing. Today I'm working on the old Valiant. It's got a Holly on it right now, and I had this one that came off of it. It would not run in idle for some reason. So I'm going to go ahead and rebuild it and start getting that car to where I can drive it on the road. But, so I'm going to go ahead and rebuild this carburetor and hopefully that gets fixed. Well, little problem. This is not the carburetor that I thought it was. And my gaskets don't work. I had made one for this to make see if it worked at one point. I'd like to rebuild it completely. It probably worked. Yeah, here's the top fuel bowl gasket for this. These are the ones in the kit. Looks more like the two-barrel. As you can tell, all these are like this. Mine's like that. So, oops. If anybody can tell me what kind of carburetor this is, that would be nice. That is not the factory carburetor for the car that I'm now finding out. So, I guess I'm going to put this somewhat back together and try the Holly that I have, which I know is correct. Actually, might continue with this carburetor just because I kind of want to see if I can get it to work now. This gasket don't look too bad. I should have to remake this one. So I guess I'm going to try to make a gasket for it. Try that route. Just see what happens. So I got it somewhat back together. Hopefully this is going to work. I think it will. These things are pretty simple. One, there's a vacuum port here. That might have been the reason why I wouldn't idle. I don't remember it ever being something there, so I plugged it off. Don't really need it. This manifold back in. I think I have a non-manifold. Yeah, I got plenty of vacuum ports, so I canceled that one out. Plugged off. This hole is stripped, so I have to put a bolt, screw, machine screw with a nut. Well, this one kind of made a homemade butthead, got a remote, that's what I had. A nut. This one's a little bit cracked, I'm hoping that it's not going to come out. It is snug in there, sometimes. Might be able to figure out something later. I just want to see if the carburetor works too. It did work real good, it just wouldn't idle. So, I'm sure that's probably part of my problem. Yeah, so I'm gonna go put it on and see if this helps any. So we're out here on the Valiant. I have a carburetor on it, but it does leak, and I kind of want to not have that problem. Another thing is this little plastic cam. I don't have one at the moment, so I'm just gonna put this one on. I'll have to mess with the cam and figure out how to do all that later. But I want to see if this one works and go with it. I broke the fuel line over here and it's squirting gas out. So I gotta fix that little section. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got the fuel line replaced. It's a little bit long, but I want to make sure this carburetor works. That way I can make a metal line that's better routed and everything. But before I do that, I just want to make sure that it runs. And yes, there are like a ton of chickens and they're pecking my feet the entire time I'm doing this. So yeah. Hopefully this time I'm actually recording. That'd be neat. Alright. Let's key on. Oh, I'm still leaking fuel. That's nice. Ow. Just one more time, maybe? Oh, it's choking. Oh, that would be why. I'll try this again. Should be picking up fuel by now. Of course, the battery's dying too. Oh, I see fuel. That's what I thought. Accelerator pump's not working right. Alright, well. I'm gonna go ahead and tear this carburetor apart again and see if I can figure out what I did wrong. Alright, so I figured out the problem. I put a little ball in it and a part for the accelerator pump. I thought it needed it because I thought it was missing. Turns out it didn't. So that's why it wasn't working. This is gonna need some adjustment to actually get it to work properly. See if it works very well now. Alright, maybe the battery's not dead yet. Speaking of battery, probably should hook it up. Well, the fact that I autoed, I think it's better. Yeah, that's so much better. The other carburetor wouldn't even auto. I spoke too soon. Oh yeah, that's so much better. Oh! Oh yeah, that's how that's gonna be good. Alright. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off and probably call it tonight. I'm gonna put the good for that, probably not probably. It's hot. Then I got food coming. Yeah, that's awesome. I do some more adjusting and everything whenever I get the water in it and where I can get it warmed up. See how well it starts back up. Gotta fix the ignition switch on this thing too. Doesn't like the old restart. Yep. I'm calling that good for now. Start getting this thing ready to go on the road. I gotta replace the brake master because it went bad. I got another one though. It's just too hot today to do that. Put this little gasket back on it. Perfect. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the garage on tools and go inside and cool down. It's hot. Been like almost 100 degrees all day. Right now I am currently soaked in sweat. Alright. Well, hopefully I can get with the master cylinder. Oh, cool. That's going to make it easier. Didn't realize, but then it's just got nuts on it. So, sweet. As long as that breaks loose, I'll probably spray that tonight and let that soak, and it's probably freaking hot. Nope. And get ready. Good oil change, oil filter. I got an air filter for it. Alright, so as you can see, I did a little bit off camera. Wasn't hoping to do this much. I went ahead and started, I vacuumed out the floor, started doing a little bit on the drip rails, and stripping them and painting them. I used the paint and it's not working, so I'm gonna have to strip this back down again, go ahead and prime that all again on both sides. Silicone around the windows because I don't have any of the stuff, and I'm just gonna silicone it, seal it up for now. Took the door and the fender off. I had to take the fender off to get to the door because the door has, for some reason, a 1/2-inch gap here, and as far as I can get it to adjust. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. This door shuts really good. Best shutting door. That one was terrible. It was hitting the fender and everything. But I had to pull the fender off just to get to the door. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the other fender off just because it needs to come off anyways. I'm taking the grill out so I can get easy load paint, front bumper, and then I can wash this corral out too. So it's not all for nothing. That way I can get everything lined up back together. I can tell that fender's out too. Yeah. Tomorrow, probably take this other fender off and finish taking the grill out. Maybe next weekend I can start painting. Probably paint the floor sometime during the week. Sand, wire brush it down and paint it. Give a good primer on it. Kill a bunch of that rust. Fix a couple of the rust holes and fix all that. Alright. So I'm back on the Valiant today. Looks like I got a water leak. Radiator. I have to figure out what that's at. We'll go ahead and finish taking off the grill. Take out the marker lights. And probably the rear bumper. And get this door back on. Wash out the core support, hopefully today, because it's full of stuff. And then once, well, I probably won't wash it off. I'm going to finish sealing all this up. Might have to take this back off,
because this paint did not stick worth a crap. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take off a bunch of that. I tried painting over the old paint. That didn't help any. Still, for some reason it's not even cured yet. Clean this all off again. Yeah, it's not even cured. It's still gooey. And that's been overnight. So I haven't been recording on the Valiant. I've been just trying to get this done. I got the back bumper off. Did a little bit of work to the exhaust. I got the drip rail sealed up. Fixing to do the front windshield. We had to go to town and get some more silicone. And when I've already done the back window. I got something I think I can do it a lot better and it'll look a little bit better. That was a try. I know this isn't the right way to do this. Trust me, I know. I'm trying to do it the right way, the wrong way, or however that goes. Trying to do it right, but it's wrong. I don't want to have to buy one of these seals because apparently they're like $400. And I can't do that. I mean, I'm going to try to keep it from leaking. This silicone has worked. I have not used this brand, but I have used silicone on my charger. The one thing I do know, if you do this is at your own risk and everything. You want to, I cleaned this up, took the old stuff out because it was cracking and brittle and leaking. There was a little bit of rust under there, not ate up. It was good surface rust. You want to take it down. I put a rust conversion primer on it, coated it a couple times, and then I put some paint over it. About 2 coats of paint. In this case, what I had left was silver to seal it. Then put the silicone on that. Because if you put the silicone on the bare metal, it will draw moisture and rot the piece out, from my understanding. So that's why you want to do that. That's what's done on the front and rear. I got the silver fender off, mainly to fix the doors and get the doors completely lined, because it's so much easier to do. I got to do a little bit of tweaking to this one. Got the front glue out. I did bust the light bulb. Not happy about that. First A body and learning that you gotta take the headlight out to unplug them. B body were nice. You didn't have to do that. But I got this door lined up pretty good. A lot better because it was sticking out here. And that was the furthest I was macking out the brackets. I don't know what's wrong with this bottom bracket. I put a pin, or made a pin for it, a bolt. But it's good. There's no play in it. It tightened up. I had to kind of massage this metal bracket and then too close to here to make it slide back more. I don't know why, but instead of a 1/2 inch gap, I got about a 1/4 gap. So I'm a lot happier with that, and everything else is happy. I can open the door, it opens nice, it shuts nice, just that little bit latched it now. Do a little bit of tweaking to this door. I've just been busy and want to get this done, so I haven't been recording. That and my phone's been a little screwy lately. I need to clean up the floors and everything, but my main goal is this weekend I want to get this thing ready for paint. This will be my first car painting, so I'm trying, but I'm not going to be like worried about it. I'm not going to be doing as much as like I would with that car. That car I'm actually going to look really decent. This one I'm fine with. I'm probably going to end up turning around and sell it. It's not going to be something that's going to be super valuable. It's going to be a nice little daily driver hot rod. It's a slant 6, but you can put a V8 in it. Easy. It's just going to be a nice little car. I'm honestly going to drive around for a little bit for daily for a gas saver and enjoy it. So, I'm going to have a little bit of fun with it. I am sealing up everything to keep it from leaking. Just try to save the body because it's in really good shape for what it is. And run with it. I am going to wash it and everything, but I wanted to seal this all up before I wash it. That way I can do two things at once. Make sure and check that it's all sealed up, and to also wash it, not have to worry about water being in there. I know this is all dried out. Two, I know this molding clip's going to go here. I don't have them. I don't have a set of them. I don't plan on buying them because I don't plan on taking this windshield out to put them in. So I'm going to try my best and see what it looks like when I silicone it. I know this is silver, but it will be black. I'm trying to do as good as I can for what I got. I'm trying to do as cheap as I can. Had a couple of rust holes back here. Some of them sealed up with the silicone. I tried doing a little bit here, but I'm honestly going to have to. I don't want to weld it because it's too close to the rubber and glass. So I'm going to try to patch that up as best I can and seal it. So yeah. Before I forget, a little trick to get kind of a sharper line when you want to do it quick. Like after you get the silicone on, you want to pull it off. I take the outer edge to try to keep the mess somewhat reasonable. I still got some on the body, but it kind of keeps a sharp line-ish and kind of keep it hidden. I could have done a little bit better job, but like this. Right there, then when you paint, sand, get ready to. This is all going to get sanded down. That's going to end up turning that together. So, these things work pretty good. A little rubber. A lot better than those sponge paintbrushes, what I used on the back. Not perfect, but a lot better than having a bunch of those streaks and stuff in it. The water one is pretty good, which this will get rubber seal, will get painted black. That's where you see the silver now. Here's the back of the phone. You kind of see it's got the lines and stuff in it. Keep from sealing, or keep it to seal. So I'm happy with that. Got to do a little bit more cleaning up on the back though. But other than that, probably call it a night tonight. Probably give this at least a day or two to completely clear up. So yeah. Okay. So I got off work a little bit late today, but I was able to get the car power washed. I got the fenders held on by 2 bolts. But the crown and everything's cleaned out because these are bad about getting stuff in them and rotting out. This one doesn't seem to be rotted out yet. And it's clean now. The windshield and the rear window do not leak. So that is a big plus. Gonna let this thing with everything dry out. The Ford got a little bit wet, but that's no big deal. But I do want it to dry out and dry off. So while I'm at work tomorrow, I'll let that do that. Tomorrow I will pull it in and get the fenders all bolted up and lined and start sanding it down and scuffing it. I'm not going to take it to bare metal. Just going to get pretty much where it's scuffed and shoot it. I am going to try to do somewhat decent of a job and make it look slick-ish. You know, kind of fix all this part. Put filler where I need it. Sand it down. Primer the areas that need to be primed. Make it look decent. But not a complete restoration. Got off a little bit late. I only have 2 bolts in each fender and they're loose. I'm going to go ahead and throw all the bolts in it where they're loose. And when I get ready, I'll start tighten them up and lining up the fenders. First, I'm going to put all the bolts in it, and then start lining them up and tightening the bolts up. So it was going pretty smooth until I got to a point where this fender is not lining up. I did ding it a little bit here, but I can fix that. But as you can tell, I'm pushing it in. Body line doesn't really match. It has one on the door, and the fender seems to be a lot sharper. This isn't the original fender. It has a marker light, and it also has light up top in different color. And I believe this car's been in a wreck, and this door would show it, because I look on the inside. I was hitting it here, trying to get to push in with a handle, and the handle broke through the door. So, now I gotta fix that, because that's a problem. I know it had some body work done to it, and I'm gonna have to do a little bit of straightening. But if I open up the door, you can look right there. It's a little bit damaged, and there's the hole. So before I put it inside the garage for tonight, I guess I'm going to do a little body work to fix this. More likely I'm going to weld me a little patch, but I need to see how bad this is. I need to take all this off on this door. So I'm going to go ahead and do that while I'm outside. That way all the dust and everything stays here, because I got a feeling it's going to be a lot of Bondo. Alright, so I got all the Bondo off. Got it pretty much pulled out. I got the fender, it's just sitting on there. Let's see here. How can I do this? Fender sits there. Alright, so I can flip the camera around. Alright, so that way I can do that. Straight edge it. Looks not too bad. Right at the bottom of the fender where it needs to be. Do I have it too far in? Nope. More tweaking, but I need to wait till I get the fender mounted. Right there needs to be bent in. A little bit more. I'll do that whenever I get ready to shape it into the door. Down here. A lot better. So once I get it, I'll tack everything up. Here, weld it in. Actually probably cut some of this out. Like this little section here. That way I can kind of reshape it to the door, because the door is still kind of crunched in. So that's gonna be fun. But I think I can get it pretty good. Wish I had like a pair of vice grips that was on like a slide hammer. That would be nice. That way I can clamp it and pull it. Because that's really what needed, but I didn't have anything I could get in there. And I couldn't get this to screw in that stud. So I mainly just pulled it out and let it kind of break its way free. So I'm back home next day. Got my welder hooked up for a plug-in. I got the plug-in for it for this side of the shop. As you can see there. And I got it set over to the smaller wire, which I like for doing sheet metal. I was using 35 and I like using 25 for sheet metal. I'm going to mount this fender and get it all lined up. That way I know how much of the door is bad here. And I'll probably end up adding here where it's been in to make it look right and everything. At least it's metal and not Bondo, where you can put a whole chunk in it again. And once I get the fender lined up, before I start welding, I'll probably end up cleaning the floor a little bit with a wire brush and a grinder, and maybe make some patch paint, which looks like that little piece, maybe a little piece back here, and there's a hole here. I might as well patch since I'm here and figure out what's that goo is there. I think that's JB Weld or lead, one of the two. So I'll find out what's there, and probably I'll find a pinhole or two over there I can just spot. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. But first I'm gonna get this fender lined up so that way I know what all is missing on this part. All right. Alright, so I got the fender a little bit right. The only thing I'm having problems with, which I know these cars aren't very perfect, especially with the body lines, but this car has been hit on the passenger side. This fender's not original. The hood don't look bad, but I'm kind of thinking the hinges are bent. So I can get the fenders to look pretty good everywhere where it matches, except in one spot. I also need the little bumpers. But this is also a reason why I think the hood might be a little bit tweaked. One, the hood wants to sit lumpy. This side's high, and this side's low. Another thing is, this hood gap with this fender is even, but it's wide. And this one, push the hood down, is really tight, but it's tight all the way. I'm kind of thinking that this hood, whenever it was hit, wasn't really damaged, but it was shoved over. And I'm kind of getting an idea that these A-body hinges, which in my opinion are not strong at all, are bent. And two, which that line look too bad. That matches the door and everything. It looks alright. And the same side with the other way. No, not a consistent gap, but it's not bad. Got a little bit of a gap there, but if you look here at the hinges and here, it looks like this one's kind of tweak over. I'm kind of wondering if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it one-handed. I'm just gonna take my hand and just try to maybe it racked over just a little bit. Probably not. Yeah. I figure one good shove would probably fix it, because it's consistent. Which if I can just kind of get it a little bit tighter, it'd be nice. But it's not going to be the end of the world for me, because that one's tight. But I'll work on that a little bit more later. Plus, it's not going to be a perfect car anyways. But I got this pretty close. I got to move the top in, as you can tell, a little bit more. Which it's missing the bolts and everything. For some reason, they modified these tags and the bolts and everything. That would probably help this out a lot, but it's not too bad. Oh, hang on. It actually looks good. If I give it a little shove that way. Now, yeah, if I had that top bolt in, I might have to see what I can do there. Gets a little bit off in this range, but I think this is more of the door than anything, and I think this line might be on the door is higher than the, which these two, the fender and the door don't quite line up, but this is for a different year car too. I'm not sure what year or even what car, so that could be a little bit of it too. And that's when it gets a little funky, but I think the lines and everything, using a ruler, it as a straight edge, it kind of shows it pretty good. and then that little spot here. And then I got this line here, which ain't too bad. It gets a little bit wide here, but that's where that door is crunched in. So I'm gonna use weld and try to make my own edge through here, kind of fill it in. And down here, because I think that's one. The proper way to fix this would probably be to take the door off, pull it out, and do it all that. I don't want to take this door off. I really don't. So I'm going to do it this way. I'm okay with taking the fender off. I don't really want to take this door off. Just take the door off, you got to take the fender off. So I'll fix that eventually. But I probably won't. I'm doing it the easier way, which I weld up these holes, and it'd be good. Won't even know. And you don't have to worry about catching or anything here and just having Bondo like it was. And well, you get a random hole in your door, and then you find out that the door's crunched a little bit, which I know it had a trailer crunch here, or scrape on both sides.